Hi folks, Keywii here, and welcome back to Lucy, the Eternity She Wished For. This shit show of a game. It's fucking hilarious though. It feels as if I'm carrying a real person on my back instead of a robot. I start to wonder what could be causing this different in perception. Was it just a placebo effect? It's the fucking weight of her, you idiot. I'm gonna refrain from calling him an idiot like every 20 seconds. Just know it's going to be real difficult. Or had something really changed since this morning? If something really did change, was it me? Or was it the robot? I continue to ponder over the question on my way home, as I stand in place, as determined by the background not moving. I never managed to come up with an answer. But that's fine. That's fine. It happens. You know, it happens to the best of us. Some people don't know how much things weigh. It's cool. Here's the 3 laws of robotics again, in case you've forgotten this is the last time. We know that it's written slightly differently, and also that it's from Isaac Asimov. We know this. All of it are things we know. October 13th. Isn't it already October 13th? Isn't that already a thing? Did the day change at all? I unlocked the... No, it didn't change at all. It just decided to fucking tell me what day it is for no reason. Unlock the front door and enter the house. Dad, are you here? And also, have you been drawn? Unlike usual, I could sense someone's presence inside. I hear a couple of voices coming from the television inside the living room. My father appears to have returned home early. Makes me feel uneasy. Did he get fired? I don't know. I effortlessly remove my shoes using only my feet. Yeah, I've done that. That's fucking not a thing to comment on. It's pretty goddamn easy. Come to think of it, I was always home alone. It's been this way ever since I'd grown old enough to take care of myself. Yeah, but that doesn't really say anything. Like, are you paying bills, or are you fucking you brushing your teeth at night? Like, how are you taking care of yourself here? Before that, we used to have a housekeeper watching over the place. Oh, you're rich. However, that was only until I began middle school. From then on, I was always by myself. I would eat breakfast alone. I would eat dinner alone. The cycle would repeat endlessly. Until today. The definition of endless. I didn't even remember the last time all of us ate dinner together as a family. How many is all of us? Like, do you have siblings? All I know is that you have a dad. Like, fucking elaborate, please. There's no such thing as a home-cooked meal in this household. I've eaten so many different kinds of instant foods in my life that I've come to memorize every product of every brand. And I'm going to die. My father puts his work before family. And my new mother... there it is. And my new mother follows my father everywhere to support him while practically ignoring me, including to work. She's a weirdo. That is my family. At this point, it feels out of place to see someone actually at home. Well, we haven't seen anyone yet. Your observation is lacking. Hey, empty couch and off TV. My father's on the couch watching television. Couldn't even draw him. Oh, there he is. Hey, my man. You look real disappointed in me. You're back. He doesn't even turn around to face me. It implies that he's not in a good mood. Yes, Father. You're very late. I checked the time. It wasn't actually that late. There are times when I've been back much later. I wonder if this man even knows how old I am. Aren't you like 12? Where have you been wandering around for so long? Don't you know that you'll be in college soon? I don't bother replying, says the guy who never paid any attention to me. That is irrelevant to how formal and on time you are to things. I think to myself, I don't get along too well with my father. My father. Our relationship compares badly with other families. Nah, this seems pretty legit. You're not being abused, as far as I can tell, so you're fine. But that is to be expected. We've never spent much quality time together. Going to the zoo, or playing soccer together, normal family things. I don't have any of those fond memories that other kids my age probably have. My earliest memories are of my father's stern face. So it would be even more bizarre if we actually got along. I just don't get this character at all. As I stand in silence, the old man launches his next attack. Are you not listening to me? He still doesn't bother looking at me. He very clearly is looking at you. Well, I guess he's looking at me, the screen, since that's a distinction. I've gotten used to minding my own business. We keep to our own devices. Mine is a smartphone. To solve any conflicts within a family, you would normally need to sit down together and talk about it. You clearly don't know how normal family works, do you? But my father doesn't think there's any need for that. He thinks everything is fine the way it is. That's why he's confronting me, saying you're late. That totally means he thinks it's fine. Be real painful to talk face to face with that man, though. I just stopped by somewhere on my way home. Yeesh, I'll just deal with our usual exchange. As long as I don't make him angry, that's good enough for me. I just need to maintain the peace between us. It's always been this way. As usual, I try my best not to rock the boat. I don't know what you kids are up to these days. But remember that students like you should be studying. I just got home. I'm saying this for your sake. You're saying this for your wallet's sake. You want me to take care of you when you're older. So stop hanging around those brats who only care about having fun. You can't afford to lose sight of your main goal. Stay focused. This is just so shoehorned in. It does not feel natural. I'm gonna go to my room now. With that said, I try to make my escape. Our conversation would usually end about here. But Lucy, who had been silent all this time, decides to whisper something into my ear. Hey look, but would that person be your dad? I hesitate whether I should tell her or not. In the end, I quickly whisper back, yeah, also shut up. Lucy taps my shoulders. Please, let Lucy down. I have no choice to grant her wish. Oh, I guess you were carrying her the entire time, which would make sense that the dad doesn't notice or something. Buff. Buff, buff. Maybe Lucy's voice had caught him by surprise. Because my father finally turned to face me. He's wearing a bewildered look. What is that fucking look on his face? It's just like, is that a cheese brisket? Who's your guest? With a wide smile, Lucy grabs the edges of her skirt. Then she performs a flawless curtsy that would make a princess envious. Well, before her father is an android with limitless capabilities, Lucy Valentine. Lucy will be in father's care from now on, so she hopes she will get along nicely with everyone. What, it's just a robot? His attitude changes completely. The sharpness in his voice penetrates every part of my body, including my fingertips. Holy shit, they're sharp now too. But Lucy doesn't seem to notice. Noise. Or rather, she's pretending not to. She continues with a smile. Cooking, cleaning, the laundry, please leave everything to Lucy. Household chores are no match for Lucy. I'm sorry, but there's nothing we need from a robot in this family. I suggest that you go look for someone else to stay. Please excuse Lucy, but there's a lot more that she can do than simple chores. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not looking good. Meanwhile, Lucy continues to ramble on, completely oblivious to what is about to happen. Lucy can also help relieve father's previous concerns regarding his son. Lucy is a perfect educational tool with access to lectures given by world-renowned professors from various universities. She's talking as if she's about to become my personal tutor, which, I mean, given the circumstances, makes sense. Lucy has lots more features, such as sewing, plumbing, and... Just where did you get this piece of junk? Get it out of my sight! His angry outburst is as sudden as it is intense. It catches Lucy off guard. She stumbles backwards in alarm. No surprises here. I saw all this coming from a mile away. It's a present from a friend. I lie instinctively. If I honestly tell him that I found her in the trash, he'll definitely force me to take her back. I'll just say that I got her from Dr. Gears. My father knows his manners. There's no way he'll make me throw away a present.
Huh, really? You haven't stopped being a troublemaker since you were little. Accepting presents? Gifts from other people? What kind of fool are you? What have I always told you? Robots are ruining society.
Oh, is that why you hate robots so much? Because you take after your dad that you hate? That makes sense.
Did you forget about all that?
My father has always been like this. Robots are becoming increasingly more common. They're gradually making their way into our daily lives. But my parents consider them as intruders infiltrating human society. They're unable to catch up with the shifts in technology whilst they refuse to let go of their traditional ways. They simply refuse to coexist with robots. I mean, you're kind of like that yourself. Thanks to that, I grew up hearing nothing but bad things about robots. What's wrong with keeping one around the house?
What's wrong, you ask?
I've read that most families own androids nowadays. Why can't we just keep one around for convenience? I've clearly just added fuel to the fire.
Convenience? Think about the type of people that care about convenience. Convenience makes us lazy. That's why we have a television. And when we're lazy, our minds don't work properly. Convenience makes our minds weak. It's obvious how they'll live the rest of their lives without realizing that they're hopelessly lazy. They'll just end up having a meaningless existence.
This guy's a fucking idiot. I've already lost count of how many times I've heard this from him. Today's lecture is variant B. That's totally how people do that. It goes from A to Z, by the way. I'm so sick of this. I just want to wrap up this conversation so I can leave as soon as possible. Clearly, you care enough about his lectures to fucking organize them. Most people wouldn't fucking do that if they don't give a shit. Anyway, I've accepted it already, so we should keep it. I'm the one who's gonna be using it, so why do you care?
And who's the one going to be paying for the electricity? Who taught you to be so selfish?
Starting to reach my limit. Come on, I want to leave. Then I'll pay for it. I can get a part-time job.
A job? You're going to get a job? What kind of lazy person gets a job? You're going to work when you should be studying?
Really? Yes.
You even realize how important this phase of in your life is? These years in high school to decide the rest of your future.
I know a few Americans who have parents that are this stupid.
With whose permission are you planning to work?
No one's. I'm going to get a job because I'm legally capable of doing so.
Kids like you should be studying. Just keep your mouth shut and study.
I'll pay you back. I'll pay you back when I grow up, so just leave me alone, damn it, he yelled, loudly. I screamed at the top of my lungs. His eyes widened in shock. That was to be expected. I've never raised my voice in front of my parents before. Both of them. You can't do this. You can't do that. Then just, what the heck do you expect me to do? So furious that I can almost feel steam rising from my head. At the same time, my father's eyes quickly narrow and begin to burn with rage. Time slows down and I'm left struggling to process what had just happened. I stand in place holding my sore cheeks as I stare at my father in shock. Not knowing what to do, Lucy is fidgeting nonstop.
Just where did you learn to be so stubborn? I never raised you this way.
You raised him exactly this way, you fucking idiot. Also, my game is silent, so I gotta plug in my headphones so they don't turn off and die. Thanks, game. Shocked and humiliated, I can no longer calm my fiery soul. Also, I just want to point out for the record that if this were literally any other thing, I'd actually give a shit. Like, this is bad. This is not a good thing happening. This is a broken family, and there's a lot of problems here. But this game is stupid, and that's why I'm making fun of it instead of actually addressing it, just for the record. I turn around and stomp off towards my room. It's just like, it's so forced, and just like, we need a villain character who's really out of touch, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, okay, do it better next time. I pull Lucy along with me.
Master?
Ow. Hesitating, Lucy eventually makes a short bow to my father and trails along. Behind me, I hear my father yelling, but I shut it all out as my blind rage is nearly overpowering. Like, it's a genuinely bad thing when parents hit their kids, but, again, this is not a game to be taken seriously. Let's just move along. Entering my room, I lock the door behind me. I hear my father yelling as he continues banging on my door for a while, which makes a very bad studying environment. I'm not sure how many minutes have gone by. It feels like an eternity. Even as I block my ears, I can sense the floor shaking. I curl up my bed, I curl up my body and wait for the moment to pass. Okay, now it's actually getting a little more dark and serious. It's just so out of place in a game like this. The clock slowly ticks away. After a long while, I uncover my ears. The noises have stopped, and I finally begin to relax. As my head eventually clears up, I realize what I've done. Phew. I had finally lost control. I've yelled at my father for the first time in my life. It's been a while since the last time I was hit by my father. It was like the rupturing of a dam after so much pressure and strain. Thinking back, it's strange that we've never had any direct confrontations like this one. Our relationship was like an unstable bomb, but I'd always managed to prevent it from going off. But today was different. Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. Phew. I try to slow down my breathing. And Lucy is there. And the sad music starts. Yeah, this is why I don't take this game seriously. She says master every fucking 5 seconds. That's why I can't take it seriously. It's not a real game to be dark and horrible when it's that. Like, you can't be both. It just makes a dumb experience. Lucy calls out to me cautiously. What is it? Are you alright? I wonder what she means by alright. Especially since it's spelled as 2 words and not 1 word, meaning I'm not all left, I'm all right. Nothing's all right. Things are only partially right. But I know what she's meant. So I give a small nod anyway. With a wet handkerchief from who knows where, Lucy wipes down my sweaty forehead. The fruity smell of her perfume is surprisingly calming. With all due respect... What is it? It's not right to use that sort of language with your father. My face quickly becomes contorted with rage. What the heck? Are you also telling me I'm a bad person? Lucy shakes her head. Lucy isn't saying that you're bad, but she thinks that you should be polite towards your parents. It's your family. Father was probably very hurt inside. Oh, you don't think I'm bad, huh? When you're the one telling me that it's my fault entirely? I was the one who hurt, and he was the one who hurt me. My head is aching, so just drop it and leave me alone. Lucy, who had been squirming about, goes completely still. Both her eyes suddenly lose their color. Oh, they seem like the same colors they've always been. After a while, she springs back to life. Colors, same eye. In regards to the information on Lucy's memory chip, investigating various scenarios regarding family conflict shows that the conversation between you and your father was found to be one of the least desirable outcomes. There could have been way worse. What are you talking about? Logically speaking, it means that additional repercussions may arise from this incident if you take no action. To solve this issue, you should recognize your mistakes and apologize too. Shut up! Your explanations don't even make sense and you're calling it logical? You wouldn't understand a thing anyway? Why is there a question mark there? Somebody fucked up. What wouldn't Lucy understand? What can you possibly tell from watching us for 5 minutes? What did you exactly find out about us? How can you say something so ignorant without knowing anything about the past 18 years we spent together? The android tilts its head, looking confused. Answer this, how many minutes are there in a day?
1440分です。
That one I actually calculated recently for a thing I was doing with a few friends of mine, so that is correct. How many in a year?
52万5600
That one I don't know,
です。
but I'm going to assume yes. Because of, Rent, the musical. Now what about 18 years?
946
That one I'm going to also assume
で
is
す。
correct based on previous engagements with this context. As expected from a robot, her calculations are quick and accurate. That's right. Out of that many minutes I spent with my father, you've seen only 5. That's less than an insignificant amount. How do you know that percentage immediately? Regardless, I'm going to have to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I, of course, am Keywii. I'm Great 2, and you have yourself a delightful day. Goodbye.